Coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles now, we're going to continue to recap what was a very impressive win for the Philadelphia Eagles over the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. We're going to get to the latest Jalen Hurts injury news and dissect how the Eagles won with some of the best Eagles analysis that you're going to find here on YouTube. First, though, just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody for supporting the program. We picked up 85,000 views during our watch party against the Dolphins. Want to send a hearty congratulations to Potion for winning our Kelly Green flag. He's been a real one here on the show for a long time. Made us a new Eagles Now intro song. And congratulations to Alling. He is the winner of our signed Kelly Green Vince Papale jersey as the Eagles returned in the Kelly Greens on Sunday night. Some of the freshest jerseys in all of sports. And this is why you subscribe to the show. We give you Eagles news, we give you Eagles analysis, but we like to chop it up with our subscribers who are tuned into the program from worldwide, and we're approaching 60,000 subs, so hit that sub button right now. And with that, Eagles analysis is coming your way right now. Today's Philadelphia Eagles Now is presented by Roan. You can get 20% off on some of the nicest menswear. We're going to put that link down below in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. It's roan.com/chatsports for that deal to apply, and we'll tell you more about what Roan has to offer here in just a little while. Why I like Roan: high-quality men's clothing, breathable and stretchable fabric. I'm wearing one of their polos right now. It's great. There's no need to go to the dry cleaner because the more you wear these products, you have them hanging out, wrinkles actually disappear. Look at how clean this shirt is. Anti-odor technology because who wants to stink out there? And I love the versatility of their products as well. They have you covered from dress shirts, polos, pants, and shorts. The commuter collection has all of those. So it's 20% off using the promo code ChatSports at roan.com/chatsports. Support the show. Look good, feel good with Roan today. Again, that link down below, hanging out in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. So overall takeaways from the Eagles now being 6-1, just an impressive win against Miami. And in a battle between two 5-1 teams, the Eagles look like a true Super Bowl contender, whereas the Miami Dolphins looked like a pretender. Those were two different teams on opposite sides of the spectrum on Sunday night. The Eagles were physical, they had depth, they had talent. I thought they dominated the Dolphins in the trenches, and they halted what was the number one offense in the National Football League, and they were able to beat up Miami on the defensive side of the rock. The defense really brought it. And you look at Miami, they came into that matchup in prime time, averaging an NFL best 37 points per game, nearly 500 yards of offense. The Eagles then hold the Dolphins to 10 points, 12 first downs, 244 total yards offensively, and that first down number I think is really impressive because Miami wasn't able to move the ball consistently, and the Eagles also held the number one rushing offense to just 45 rushing yards. I thought they really made a statement early in that game by halting the Dolphins and what they wanted to do in trying to establish the run, and then their pass rush when they wanted to throw it really got home and gave some confusing looks to Tua Tagovailoa. What stood out to me about the Eagles' defensive performance: Sean Desai did what Jonathan Gannon never did as the Eagles defensive coordinator. In-game adjustments, a masterful game plan, and just playing dominant from the start of that game to the end of it. Jonathan Gannon, I thought, was underrated and may have come in with a good game plan, but then teams were able to adjust. Sean Desai can counter-adjust to those adjustments. Eagles manhandling Miami at the line of scrimmage, and whether it was Josh Sweat, who's playing like a top 10 edge rusher this year, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, they were great up front. The linebacking core was really good. The secondary with Darius Slay, I thought he played a terrific game. He gives you leadership. He gives you smart and savvy plays. The Eagles did trade for Kevin Byard because Terrell Edmunds is not the answer, and the Eagles needed to address that position. But Sidney Brown got his first career start. We didn't call his name negatively all throughout that game, and for him to play that way going up against this offense, that was a key takeaway as well. So too is just the overall depth of this Eagles defense, and then the coaching from this team. They have position coaches at defensive line, linebacker, safety, cornerback, who were doing a hell of a job. And then Desai, as the defensive coordinator, I thought that his game plan really provided the Dolphins with a lot of challenges that they did not have answers for all throughout the night. From Haason Reddick, Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Eli Ricks, Sidney Brown, that's team ball, and that's coaching from Sean Desai and the position coaches to put young players like Ricks and Sidney Brown in there and to have them play pretty solid football. And you look at how Miami has fared against other teams as far as points scored, yards picked up, and first downs, it was a fish fry in South Philly. I also thought the Dolphins weren't ready for that environment in South Philadelphia because we know South Beach ain't South Philly. It got loud, and that's why they had double-digit penalties, whereas the Eagles had none. But against the Chargers, Dolphins put up 36 points, 536 yards, 30 first downs. Against the Patriots, 24 points, 389, 22 first down pickups. Against the Broncos, 70 points in that historic performance, 726 yards, and 30 first downs. And then against the Bills, that was their other loss this year. 20 points, 393, 20 first downs. Against the Giants, 31 points, 524, and 22 first downs. Against the Panthers, they dropped 42, put up 424 yards of offense, and pick up 23 first downs. And then against the Eagles here, those 10 points held to just 244 yards. Not many explosive plays, even though Tyreek Hill is an unbelievable sight to watch with that speed. And then those 12 first downs. So if you're pumped up about this victory for the Birds, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The Eagles are 6-1. It's a great position to be in. Elsewhere on that defense, after a slow start, Haason Reddick has really started to pick it up. So this is really a takeaway from how he played on Sunday night against Miami, but how he's played over the last month. And keep in mind that Reddick was dealing with the soft tissue injury early in training camp. The groin injury kept him out, wasn't really able to practice, and then he had that thumb injury that he had to get surgery on. So the first few games of the season, I think that he was getting in shape. He was catching up to game speed, but the last four, he's been balling. And what I love about what Reddick did against Miami, so good against the run when usually he's known as a pass rush specialist. And this tear for Reddick really started with that game against Washington, got on the board with his first sack. Following week, 2 sacks against the Rams on consecutive plays to salt that game away. Against the Jets, that defense was really, really good for Philadelphia. The offense was awful. That's why they lost. But Reddick, 2.5 sacks. And then against Miami, set the edge, made some plays behind the line of scrimmage with those 2 TFLs. Didn't get on the board with the sack, but his impact was certainly felt. The impact of Eli Ricks was seen and felt as well. And the rookie who injured his knee 2 weeks ago had to play a lot of snaps. He was thrust into a large role against that Dolphins team. And how about the job that he did on Tyreek Hill? He played 14 coverage snaps. I think he's going to earn more playing time as we move forward. He was targeted 3 times. All of those targets against Tyreek Hill, yet he gives up 0 catches, has 1 pass breakup, and 1 drop. He was one of the best DBs coming out of high school. He played really good ball under Nick Saban at Alabama, and it looks as though he could be a steal for Philadelphia as a young building block on this Eagles defense. I also want to pose this question for the audience here. A lot of chatter among Eagles fans that this is Nick Sirianni's best regular season win of his career. Opponent coming off a loss, how the Eagles played and looked. Let me know what you think. Y for yes or N for no. Now, the Eagles coming out of this game a little bit banged up at that quarterback spot, and this kind of progressed throughout the game on Sunday night. Jalen Hurts did reveal that he was wearing a knee brace against the Dolphins. He did say the injury didn't happen in the game. So we're not sure when Jalen Hurts injured that knee, but it happened outside of that game against the Dolphins, whether it was practice or even last week against the New York Jets. He did say after the game that I'll be fine. Nick Sirianni did say that he was battling through some things, but this is your franchise quarterback. And anytime your franchise quarterback has any type of knee injury, that is cause for some concern, especially when you think about the playing style of Jalen Hurts. We do have to investigate this incident a little bit because Hurts coming off the field after the victory had a slight limp. He did jog off the field, though, and then was seen in the tunnel jogging to the locker room. If he was hurting a lot, I highly doubt that he would be jogging off the field, right? And if the injury didn't happen against the Dolphins and this was bothering him going into the game, had a couple of big runs in some really critical spots where he looked good. He had the escape of Bradley Chubb as he jetted right, made that play downfield to A.J. Brown. He had one of those runs where he climbed the pocket, ran up the middle, and then another one where he got out to the edge and was pushed out of bounds after a first down conversion. In evaluating Hurts against Miami, there was some good, there was some bad, and I want to segue there because some people not really impressed with what Hurts did last night. I'm actually impressed with how he played because of how he responded to adversity and more turnovers. And those turnovers, no doubt, are a problem. 1 fumble and 1 pick six. So he gave the Dolphins all of their points on Sunday night, all 10 of them. He now has 10 turnovers this year and 8 interceptions. Last year, total, he had 8 giveaways and just 6 picks and 2 lost fumbles. But he overcame it. He didn't care. And that short mindset, I think, is really important for a quarterback. That's a championship mindset where he didn't piss down his leg. He didn't get nervous. He didn't have a performance in which he collapsed. And he ended the game poorly against New York, faced some adversity against the Dolphins, but still finished strong to deliver great throws downfield and make some championship-level plays, and that's why you're paying this guy $255 million. And oh yeah, it's yet another win for Jalen Hurts as well. And a lot of people have grown obsessed with Tua Tagovailoa. They're a big fan of how he plays the quarterback position. I can see why. I've never been a massive Tua guy. I think the body frame is a little bit slight, doesn't really give you much as far as a dual threat option, can't really run, isn't fast, isn't athletic. I don't love his arm strength. And last night, he had some early reads that he didn't pull the trigger on. And because of that, that's what allowed him to kind of struggle, or which led to him struggling against that Eagles defense, allowing Philadelphia to really have his number. But so many people have been talking about Tua as an MVP candidate, Tua as the top 5 quarterback this year. When you watch the game last night, who's the more dynamic player? Who's the better, more consistent option? Who's the better all-around quarterback? And who would you rather have leading your franchise? In watching both of those players, I'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Tua. And last night, he outplayed the guy who replaced him at Alabama. Tua, 23 of 32, 216 yards, average at 6.8, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, big play slay, making the big play, and a rating of 87.5. Hurts did turn over twice. Yes, that is a fact, but 23 of 31, 279. The throw downfield late to A.J. Brown while taking a hit off the shimmy pump fake was tremendous and glorious. Average at 9, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a much better rating at 109.5. So with Hurts, ideally, he finds a way to get rid of these turnovers. He can get past them. He can overcome them. He can eliminate those from his game, because when the Eagles get in the thick of a playoff race and in the playoffs, and you're facing a team like potentially the Dallas Cowboys, who might be a wild card team if you can win this division, or the San Francisco 49ers, oftentimes it's going to be really, really difficult to beat a good team like that if you're turning the football over this much. But the good news for Philadelphia is they're not peaking at the right time. They're not peaking too early, excuse me. You're looking for them to peak at the right time. And right now, they haven't played their A ball yet on the offensive side of the football. But you see glimpses of everything coming together. And if it all meshes, and there's that continuity, and it does come together, this Eagles team can be dangerous. And they've been dangerous in part a little bit here and there because of the greatness from A.J. Brown. What we're witnessing right now from number 11 truly is special. And I said when the Eagles traded for A.J., reminds me a lot of Terrell Owens as a player, not a cancer in the locker room like T.O. was everywhere that he went, from San Francisco to Philadelphia to Dallas and beyond. But as far as players go, when you look at the size and the height, you look at the strength, you look at the ability to pick up yards after the catch, break tackles, make guys miss, and then to take the top off of the defense, and then to make difficult contested grabs like they both do. A.J. Brown is the closest thing that the Eagles have had to Terrell Owens, and how he's playing right now, I actually think he's better than Terrell Owens. 5 straight games of 125-plus receiving yards for him. He is the 3rd wide receiver all time to do just that. what AJ's been able to add to this passing attack, I think has been uniquely special. And in the history of this Eagles organization, we haven't seen a run quite like this, but A.J. Brown has bailed the Eagles out offensively a lot in moments this year. And again, if Hurts eliminates the turnovers, he starts to play better ball and is more consistent. The Eagles figure out their red zone woes. Brian Johnson starts to find a groove. You have A.J. operating like this. You get Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert clicking as well with this Eagles running game and that Eagles offensive line. That's why this team can get back to the Super Bowl and hopefully this time win it. Now, make sure you subscribe to the show for daily Eagles coverage approaching 60,000 subs. And if you like today's show, please let us know down below in the comment section.